Very good morning to all of you. Today we are going to see codominance, incomplete dominance, lethal genes, etc. All these are examples for allelic genic interaction. So simply today we are going to see incomplete dominance and complete dominance, codominance, etc. Before we go to learn about incomplete dominance, we must know the gene interaction. What is gene interaction? Simply we will briefly uh, explain about it. Gene interaction. Gene interaction is a process of influence of one allele of a gene over other allele of a gene or same gene, etc. So, what is the meaning of genic interaction? Here, genic interaction is nothing but influence of one allele over other allele of a same gene or other gene, that is said to be gene interaction. Now, gene interaction is of two kinds. One is allelic gene interaction, and other one is a non-allelic genic interaction. Under allelic genic interaction, the definition for this one is here also the influence of one allele over another allele of same gene. Here, influence of an allele over another allele of a same gene. Okay. Already we know that a single gene has a two alleles. Okay. Here, influence of an allele over another allele of a same gene, it is said to be allelic genic interaction, in which dominance, incomplete dominance, codominance, multiple alleles, lethal genes, all these will come under examples for allelic gene interaction. Okay. Now, for non-allelic genic interaction here also which one is going on? Influence of an allele of a gene over other allele of other gene. So, here also influence of an allele of a gene over allele of other gene, that may be present in the same chromosome or that may be present in different chromosomes also maybe. So that is said to be non-allelic genic interaction. Here also same influence is made by one allele on another allele. Here also influence of one allele on another allele is there. But here influence of one allele is influence of one allele here is over the allele of the same gene. Here the genes are different. Okay. Interaction is made in between two different genes. Yes, that is said to be non-allelic genic interaction. For this, epistasis, complementary genes, supplementary genes, duplicate genes, etc. are there as an example for non-allelic genic interaction. Now in this video or in this class, no need to discuss about all of them non-allelic genic interaction. Here only we will go through incomplete dominance and codominance, multiple alleles and lethal genes which are belonged to the examples of allelic genic interaction only. Okay, now incomplete dominance. Incomplete dominance is a phenomena where none of the two alleles of a gene is dominant over each other. Okay, what is that? None of the two alleles of a gene. None of the two alleles of a gene is dominant over each other, so that when they come together present, they produce us a new character. The developed new character always will be intermediate compared with the independent expression of both alleles of that particular gene. So that is the definition for incomplete dominance. So what is the definition for incomplete dominance? Incomplete dominance is nothing but a phenomena, a process in which none of the two alleles of a gene is dominant over each other. So that if they come, both of them come together and present, they produce a new character. The developed character always will be intermediate when compared with the characters which are developed by independent expression of alleles of both alleles of that particular gene. Yes, this incomplete dominance is identified by Carl Correns in the year 1903. Carl Correns, a scientist who identified that particular incomplete dominance for the first time. Okay, this incomplete dominance may not be an example for pre-Mendelian inheritance of blending inheritance, because in the F2 generation the parental phenotypes are going to be reappear, and also according to opinion of some workers, some geneticists, they are saying that it will be a good example for quantitative inheritance where a single pair of genes are involved. Okay, now the incomplete dominance has other name: mosaic inheritance, blending inheritance, intermediate inheritance, etc. What are the good examples for this? Examples for this one here is Mirabilis jalapa. That is a 4 o'clock plant. Antirrhinum majus. It is a snapdragon or dog flower. These are the good examples for incomplete dominance. And one more, Andalusian fouls. That also shows incomplete dominance. Simply one by one we will go through. Here, Mirabilis jalapa and Antirrhina majors. In both of them, there are two kinds of varieties of flowers are there. One is a red flower, other one is a white flower. Yes. Now, a cross is made in between red flowered Mirabilis jalapa versus white flowered Mirabilis jalapa. In F1 generation, all pink flowered flowers are going to be developed. And again, one more cross is made among the plants of F1 individual to produce F2 generation. Here, red flower, pink flower, white flower, these three phenotypes are appeared in 1:2:1 ratio. Okay, here the phenotypic ratio of F2 generation and the genotypic ratio of F2 generation both are equal, that is 1:2:1. So we will see now a red flowered Mirabilis jalapa is now crossed with white flowered Mirabilis jalapa. Here, these are said to be parents or P generation. Parents or P generation. Okay. Now, they have a capital R as a genotype. Here, smaller, you imagine as a genotype for them. It may be a female plant, it may be a male plant. So, these are said to be genotypes. From it, a gametes are developed, that is female gamete. Female gamete is with capital R gene. Now here, male gametes are developed with smaller gene inside it. Both are fused together to develop capital R, smaller, a heterozygote condition. Heterozygous F1 plants. But all these F1 plants are produced with pink flowers. Pink flowers. Okay. Now again, two plants are selected from F1 generation and made the same kind of cross to produce F2 generation. Means we have to select the two plants. One male and other one acted as a female plant, and from them gametes are developed. By the union of their gametes, four plants are going to be developed in the F2 generation. All these four plants will have three forms. Will be in three forms. Okay. So here, capital R, smaller, they are nothing but the parents which are belong to the F1 individual, acted as a parents for producing F2 generation. Here, from them, a capital R a gamete, small r a gamete will develop. Here, capital R a gamete, small r a gametes are developed. This one and this one, both are fused together, capital R will develop. This one and this one fused together to develop capital R, small r. Now this one, capital R, small r will be developed. Wherever both dominant genes are there regarding capital R, that always will be red flowered. So it developed red flower. Capital R, smaller, that combination will produce pink flowers. Now smaller, only one is there, that always will give white flower. So white flower. You please observe here. Here capital R, small r, a heterozygous condition is there in the F1 individual in which a capital R, a dominant gene, never be acted as a dominant gene on small r. That small r represents a character that is white flower developed in that plant. So that small r never be dominated by capital R, a dominant gene, means that a capital R dominant which is meant for to produce the red colored flower in them do not completely acted as a dominant gene on small r gene, means it is not completely acted as a dominant, means it is said to be incomplete dominance. Already we learned about the statement, that is the definition of incomplete dominance. None of two alleles of a gene never be acted as a dominant on each other. So no gene is here dominant, no gene here is recessive. Okay. Hence, intermediate characters are going to be developed whenever these two genes are come together and acted as a genotype. Hence, what are the things are here? Phenotype, you write it. The physical appearance of a character is said to be phenotype. Here, how many phenotypes are there? 3 phenotypic forms are there. Red color flowers, pink color flowers, white color flowers are there. So, how many phenotypes are here? 3. They are red color and pink color and white color. How many are with red? Only 1. So 1. How many are with pink? 2. How many are with white? 1. So 1 is to 2 is to 1 will be the phenotypic ratio of F2 generation. Yes. Now come to the genotype. Genotype means the internal arrangement of genes which represents a particular trait or a character. Now, how many genotypes are here? Genic combinations are here. 3 combinations are there. But totally 4 plants are developed in the F2 generation. But all these 4 will have a 3 genotype combinations. So 3 genotypic combinations are there. They are, one combination is with capital R, other combination is with capital R, small r. Now third one is small r. How many are with capital R combination? 1. How many are like capital R, small r? 2. How many are with small r? 1. Means the genotypic ratio here is the genotype ratio here is 1:2:1. Means if please observe the phenotypic ratio here also 1:2:1. The genotypic ratio also here 1:2:1. Yes. Why? Because no gene here is acting as a dominant on the other gene. So it is said to be incomplete dominance. Especially pink color flowers are going to be more here. Producing of pink color flowers, plants are more here compared with the red color flower and white color flower. The pink color apparently appear is due to 2 reasons. One is as a incomplete dominance. Incomplete dominance. It will be by mixing of red color with white color. It is said to be incomplete dominance. So mixing of red and white. The other second thing here is quantitative inheritance. Quantitative inheritance means a particular pair of genes are going to be involved here to produce that particular product, especially that particular pigment which is meant for to produce pink color. Hence it It is known as a quantitative inheritance. So these two will be the reason for appearing of pink color apparently will be more in this. We have to remember. The same thing is happening antirrhinum majors also. Okay. Then Andalusian fowls are two kinds. There are two varieties of Andalusian fowls are here. Black colored Andalusian fowl and white color Andalusian fowl is there. When we made a cross between them to develop F1 generation, the F1 fowls are always will be blue. Then again one more cross is made among the individuals of F1 generation to produce F2 generation. Here we are getting black colored fowl, blue colored fowl and white colored fowl in the ratio of 1:2:1. That also will be the good example for the same incomplete dominance. Here black fowl is versus white fowl. Capital B may be the genes for the to produce black color. Small b genes may be for to produce white color fowl. Here a capital B, a gamete is with capital B gene. Here a gamete is with small b. Both are fused together, capital B, small b. A heterozygous condition, F1 fowl is developed with blue colored fowl. Means here the gene which is meant for to produce black color, that is capital B, never be acted as a complete dominant on small b, which is able to produce white colored fowl. Okay, that's why in F2 generation, two organisms are selected from F1 individuals. Here also a gamete is with the capital B, other gamete is with small b. Here also capital B, small b. These two are fused together, capital B develop, capital B, small b develop, capital B, small b develop, small b develop. Whenever capital B is there, that will become a black fowl. These two are said to be blue fowls. This one is the white fowl. Means here also the phenotypic ratio, here is the total number of phenotypes, here also 3. The phenotypic ratio, that is black, blue, white, appear in the ratio of 1:2:1. And genotypic ratio, here also capital B are 1, capital B, small b are 2, small b are 1. Means the genotypic ratio here also the same, that is 1:2:1 in the case of Andalusian fowls. Students, we have to remember a particular gene which is meant for black color in Andalusian fowl and the gene which is meant for to produce red colored flowers in the case of Meropolis jalapa, both genes are not acting as a complete dominant genes on the other genes. Hence, the intermediate forms are going to be developed in the F1 generation. So they are behaving as a incomplete dominance. Okay, this is the information regarding incomplete dominance. Dominance. For this, a homozygous dominant tall plant is crossed with a homozygous recessive dwarf plant. In F1 individuals, all tall plants are developed. When we made a cross between the plants of F1 generation to produce F2 generation, in the F2 generation, there will be two forms. One form may be tall, the other form will be dwarf in the ratio of 3:1. And the genotypes which are present in F2 plants will be 1:2:1. Such things now we are going to see. A homozygous dominant tall plant is crossed with the homozygous recessive dwarf plant. We are saying that tall means it is phenotypically external appearance of a character, hence it is said to be parents. And dwarf character, tall character is said to be phenotypes. And their genotypes are here. Capital T, a gene. Here is the small t, a gene is there. So they are said to be genotypes. From them, you imagine it may be a female plant, it may be a male plant. From it, the gametes are with develop, all are with the capital T gene inside it. Here, gametes are developed from this plant. All gametes they have a small t gene inside it. So they are said to be gametes. Here, both are fused together to develop capital T, small t, a heterozygous tall plant. Here, one of the parent is tall, the other parent is dwarf. Here, the tall character is going to be expressed in the F1 individual. Means the gene which is responsible for the production of tall character in the parent is completely developed and showed its expression in F1 individual. Hence, F1 plants are developed with the tall character. Now, to produce F2 generation, one more cross is made among the individuals of F1 generation. Capital T, small t, capital T, small t. Here, capital T a gamete, small t a gamete, capital T a gamete, small t a gamete. This one, capital T will develop. This one, capital T, small t. This one, small t. And again, this one, capital T, small t. So totally, capital T, capital T, capital T, small t, capital T, small t, small t, like gene combinations are developed. This capital T individuals developed into tall. This capital T, small t, developed into tall. This one also becomes a tall. Small t, combination alone developed into dwarf. Here we have to remember how many phenotypes are here. Phenotypes are 2 in number, tall and dwarf. How many dwarf are there? Only one. How many tall are there? 3 are there. So 3:1 will be the phenotypic ratio. And what will be the genotypes? How many genotypes are here? There are 3 genotypes. One is capital T, other one is capital T, small t, other one is small t, small t. So capital T combinations are only one. Homozygous dominant condition, one plant is developed, and heterozygous dominant tall plants, there are 2 in number, this one will be the one. So this is the 1:2:1 is the genotypic ratio of 5th generation. Now, dominance means the dominant character which is present in the parent will completely dominate over dwarf character or recessive characters here. That is, a tall character is always controlled by a dominant gene T. Such a dominant gene T completely dominant over small t. Hence, even though small t gene is available in the F1 individual, that small t is not going to be express its character in the plant due to the presence of capital T, a dominant gene. Means that capital T acted as a complete dominant on the small t. This is said to be a dominance. Okay. Now the differences between dominance and incomplete dominance. Here, under dominance, F1 organism shows one of the character of parents. F1 shows one of the character of parent. Here, F1 plants or F1 organisms are not showing the characters of either male parent or female parent. So, here new characters are developed by the F1 individual or intermediate characters are developed. In the case of dominance, phenotypic ratio, genotypic ratio, both are not same. Here phenotypic ratio is 3:1, genotypic ratio here is 1:2:1. But in the case of incomplete dominance, the phenotypic ratio and the genotypic ratio both are same. These two are said to be 1:2:1 for both phenotypic and also for both genotypic. Okay. Now, one more other different character in between dominance and incomplete dominance. To express dominant character, in the case of this, one dominant gene is enough, one allele is enough to produce that dominant character here. Now here, for the expression of that dominant character or character of its parent, two alleles are needed. For example, red colored flower in the case of Mirabilis jalapa, capital R, two genes are needed for producing red flowered color in the case of Mirabilis jalapa. But here in the case of a tall plant, capital T small t also produces tall character, means it is said to be single dominant gene is enough to produce that dominant character here in the case of dominance. But in the case of incomplete dominance, two alleles are needed. Then only the characters are going to be developed. The F1 individuals expresses the fully dominant character here. Here F1 individuals do not fully expresses the dominant characters of their parent. Yes, so these are the some of the important differential characters in between dominant and incomplete dominant characters. The next one here is codominant. Codominant here is nothing but the both alleles of a gene express independently when they are present in a heterozygous in condition. Here they never be acted as a dominant or recessive relationship, and they never be acted as a incomplete dominance. Simply they can be able to express their phenotypic traits in the organism. Okay, such alleles are said to be codominant. So both alleles of a gene, if they are present in a heterozygous condition, they can be able to produce or express their phenotypic traits in the organism independently. Here they never be uh, possess as a dominant or recessiveness relationship, and they never be as a incomplete dominant relationship. Simply they can express their characters freely independently in the organism. Such alleles are said to be codominant to each other or codominants. Example for this one here is AB blood group, MN blood group, coat color in cattle, and sickle cell hemoglobin. So these are the example for codominant. Come to the AB blood group. Brief introduction here is of about AB blood group. Here ABO blood group was identified by Karl Landsteiner. Karl Landsteiner. Now, a special kind of glycoprotein molecule which is present on the plasma membrane of RBC, that is said to be isoagglutinogen or antigen. Okay. Production of that particular kind of antigen is under controlled by a particular gene. That particular gene here is denoted as a capital I or nothing but known as a capital L. L stands for Karl Landsteiner. I is a specific gene which is able to produce a particular kind of antigen on the surface of the RBC. Now this I gene has three alleles. I to the power of A, I to the power of B, I to the power of 0. These three kinds of alleles are there for I gene. I to the power of A is able to produce antigen A. If antigen A is there, that blood becomes A blood group. I to the power of B, that particular allele is able to produce antigen B. If antigen B is present in the blood, it is said to be B blood. I to the power of 0 here, that never produces any kind of antigens. So no antigens are there. Automatically it becomes O blood group. So based on the presence and absence of antigens on the surface of the RBCs, we can separate the blood group from one to other. Then here I to the power of A, I to the power of B, both are said to be dominant over I to the power of 0. But I to the power of A, I to the power of B, both are said to be codominants. Codominants. Okay. Now, a homozygous A blood group person marries with a homozygous B blood group person. Here the genotype will be like this: I to the power of A, I to the power of A, identifier of B, identifier of B. From both of them here, gametes are developed with identifier of A, gametes are developed with identifier of B here. Both are fused together to develop identifier of A and identifier of B. Means identifier of A produces antigen A, identifier of B also produces antigen B. I mean both antigens are going to be developed in their blood. Means these alleles are co-dominant to each other. Identifier of A never be dominant to identifier of B. Identifier of B never be dominant to identifier of A. This one never be recessive to this one never be recessive to this one. I think both are expressing their phenotypic traits in the organism. Means they are said to be co-dominant to each other. So this is the example for co-dominant. Okay. In other, Mn blood group is also there. So there are three kinds of blood types are here in the Mn blood group, M blood group, N blood group, and Mn blood group. M blood group are said to be homozygous, N blood group is said to be homozygous, and Mn are said to be heterozygous in condition. Here also the same condition, a homozygous M blood group person married with a homozygous N blood group person. Finally, a gamete is with M allele will be there. Here a gamete with N allele is there. Both alleles are fused together to develop M N. That is identifier of M or M and N. So Mn, a particular kind of other kind of blood groups are there. M here produces M antigen that becomes a M blood group. N produces N antigen that also becomes N blood group. Both Mn are available here, hence automatically M antigen is there, N antigen is there, hence it is said to be Mn blood group. So this is also one of the example for co-dominant. Now the third example is for sickle cell. Sickle cell hemoglobin. Here, sickle cell hemoglobin is going to be developed by a particular allele gene that is said to be HB. Yes. The normal for this one is HB. Yeah. Yes. HBS. This allele is going to produce abnormal hemoglobin, and finally that abnormal hemoglobin produces sickle cell RBC also. So a heterozygous sickle cell people married with heterozygous sickle cell people, what will happen? HBA, HBS, that will be the genotype for this. Here HBA, HBS, that will be the genotype for that. So from here, two gametes are developed. One is with HBA, other one is with HBS. Here also two kinds of gametes are developed. HBA, HBS. This one and this one fused together to become HBA, HBA. This one and this one HBA, HBS. Here HBA, HBS will develop. This one HBS, HBS will develop. That person will die before to enter into the reproductive age due to the heavy anemic conditions are going to be developed in that person. Now HBA, HBA, this combination gives normal hemoglobin to that particular person, hence they will live normally. HBA and HBS combination is there, heterozygous condition is there. In their blood, up to certain extent, some amount of hemoglobin will be normal, some amount of hemoglobin will be abnormal. I think some RBCs are going to be normal, some RBCs are going to be sickle cell. I think mild anemic conditions are there in them. Means here our concentration is concentration to see whether these genes are acted as a dominant or acted as a codominant or acted as a incomplete dominant. That is our aim here is to see. Here HBA never be dominant to HBS. HBS also never be recessive to HBA. This allele independently express its character in the organism. HBS also independently expresses its characters in the organism. Means both are expressing their phenotypic characters or their expressions in the organism independently. Means both are said to be co-dominant to each other. So this is the example. Coat color in cattle. Coat color in cattle also one of the good example for that. I think red color coat, white color coat cattle are there. They are said to be capital R, capital R, capital W here. Yes, this one produces a gametes with capital R. This one produces a gametes with capital W. Here, no letter is going to be set recessive. Both are said to be dominant. This one and this one to produce RW. It becomes a roan color. I mean, roan color is going to be developed by the expressions of this capital W gene and this capital R gene. I think both of the characters are going to be developed. Okay. So these are the good examples for codominance. In roan, the red colored characters and the white colored characters are going to be formed. Okay. Yes, I think we completed all these examples for codominance. Okay.